Welcome ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to take a look at the Stamina Dragonknight PvE build for Clockwork City. Stamina Dragonknights are still the strongest setup in terms of single target DPS. Now, in the first part of the video, I'm going to talk about the basics, and second part I will just quickly show off the rotation on a target dummy, and we will quickly analyze the combat metrics Parse, so you can understand why we get those numbers. When we look at our stats, nice health and max stam, also a lot of weapon damage. We're using the Warrior Mundus Stone, helps a lot to get more weapon damage, and it's the strongest Mundus Stone. This is optimized for dungeons and trials. If you want to play solo, you could use the Leather Mundus Stone to get more physical penetration. I do have a written guide on my website if you want to go check it out. I also do have an article about stamina optimization, where you can see a lot of different gear setups possible for raids, especially if you have several stamina characters. What raids should you choose? So basically Red Guard is both damage wise and sustain wise the best. Kashyyyk is like 0.02% worse than a Red Guard, so there's not a lot of difference, but you will have better sustain because of this passive. Get 10% max stam and a little bit stamina recovery. It also depends whether, like, I like to use on classes that have max stam or max magic, I like to use a 5-1-1 setup, so this here 5 medium, 1 heavy, 1 light, just so I get more max resources. On a Kashyyyk you could run, like, if you want to, 6 medium and 1 heavy, so you get a little bit more resource management in terms of cost reduction. Difference is very small though. In terms of gear, I have 5 Night Mothers, 5 Wishes, so 3 Wishes here with weapon damage, and 1 piece here, 1 piece here. 3 Night Mothers. I only front bar Night Mother's case, because even when we go to the back bar, the buff will stay on the target. And 2 Valley Ref. You also can run 1 Valley Ref, 1 Kina. It's up to you. You can run Storm Fist if you want. All Divines with Stamina Enchant. Now here. Previous patch we used to run Infuse, now we're gonna run Nernhound. Why? Because the Maelstrom bow, the enchantment Thunderous Volley is now a set bonus, and in the previous patch Infused on the main hand used to buff that enchantment, but now it's a set bonus, so it doesn't get buffed anymore. That's why we run Nernhound. If you want, you still can run Infused. In the end you will more or less get the same DPS single target wise, but with Nernhound a little bit more AoE, because you have more overall weapon damage. Precise on the second, on the offhand, with a weapon damage enchantment. You need to have Nernhound on the main hand. Like here it only gives like 50 weapon damage, and here it's like 200 or something like. Back bar, Maelstrom bow, you can run Nernhound or Precise. And now important, you need to run those damage health poisons. They deal a lot of damage. It's actually very helpful. And we can run them now because the Maelstrom bow is a set bonus, so we don't overwrite the enchantment. So those are very important. You can find the ingredients, how to craft them, on my website. That's basically it about the gear. Please make sure to not forget to subscribe. Now champion points. Pretty basic setup. You can find it on my website. Like, the most important thing is here. 49 Mighty, 60 Precise Strike, 66 Thaumaturge. Piercing. It kinda depends. You need to look how much you want to invest here. Like when you're at the penetration cap. If somebody has Alcast, you might not need that much. You could get it less. But in the end it's preference. You also could put a few points into Master at Arms if you want to. Then we have those here. It's a pretty basic setup. We don't have that much choice because of jump points. But yeah, on my website you will find We'll also find them. Abilities, it's basically the same thing. Rending slashes. You could use the other morph. Blood Craze if you want some extra healing. Deadly Cloak. Well, that's the reason why stamina is so strong in trials. Gives you so much damage mitigation. It's insane. On top of that, it also deals a lot of damage. Noxious Breath. Nice dot. Instead of a Noxious Breath, you also could run Shrouded Dagger if you want to. Both are really good choices. Both cost more or less the same stamina. Then we have Venomous Claw. You're the strongest single target dot in the game. And the cheapest as well, like a 941, it's so cheap. Vigor, I really recommend using Vigor. The heals you get are nice. And it's just important. Flawless Dawnbreaker gives you more weapon damage, 5% from the skill itself, and then here another 3%. Increase your weapon damage by 3% for each fighter skill. So this gives a total of 8% more weapon damage. I don't necessarily use this ability a lot unless we are fighting trash, then I drop it. I do have tons of like gameplay videos. I think also on my website under gameplay and just on my YouTube in general, because this is Stamina DK is more or less my main character. Endless Hail, really strong AoE and single target dot. The rearming trap gives us a minor force, increasing our crit damage. As you can see, we have quite a lot. Just remember something. Also Poison Injection, really strong. Razor Cult drops, also strong but quite expensive. And then Molten Ornaments. This is so our heavy attacks do more damage than the Standard of Might. Now, about some people asked whether it's better to have 2 daggers or an axe and a dagger. I recommend, if you're a red guard, I would use 2 daggers. And if you're a Khajiit, I would run 1 axe and a dagger. Because with a Khajiit you have more crit. So you could run an axe to get bleeding procs. But on a red guard, you will fall just like 68% is actually good. Wouldn't go lower. Oh yeah, about buff food. Just normal max health, max stem. And the weapon power pots give you brutality, savagery and stamina. Like always. We do heavy attacks on the front bar and light attacks on the back bar. So we have always good sustain. And because we are a Dragonknight, we have Battle Roar, which helps us even more. That's why for me, like, Dragonknight has basically the easiest rotation and the best resource management. Why? And it's also stronger than most other setups. Not by a lot, don't get me wrong. Like, all stamina setups have similar DPS numbers. But Dragonknights do 3k more DPS on single target. Is there something else? I think that's more or less it. Now let's just do quick parse. Stun, I need the standard. Just about while we are charging, maybe the animation cancelling. This is heavy attack, right? Seems pretty slow. But when you do heavy attack and deadly cloak, heavy attack, rending, gets animation cancel. So it's faster. It's something that you really need to practice. And same thing on the back bar. After each ability you need to do a light attack. Always a light attack. After each ability. It's very important. Because light and heavy attacks are very strong. And the thing with heavy attacks, once you press the button and it starts charging, you can already spam your ability. And the heavy attack, or like the ability, will not go off before the heavy attack is fully charged. Something to read. Now, we do have Noxious Breath here, so we get Major Fracture on the target dummy. We have the debuff. Kinda important. I kind of get the idea. The rotation is really simple. You basically do, you apply all your back bar dots every rotation, and this just after every 40 seconds. Then you do heavy attack, noxious breath, heavy attack, rending slashes, heavy attack, venomous claw, heavy attack, deadly cloak. It doesn't matter in which rotation. Just I use deadly cloak every rotation, even though it's a 15 seconds buff, because if you forget to reapply it too late, or like you don't reapply it, you will just die really fast because of the missing damage mitigation. You see, the rotation overall is pretty simple on DK. Rotation is also on my website, under the rotation section. Now let's just quickly analyze the parse. Weapon damage enchantment here, this one, had an uptime of 41%. Hawkeye, what's Hawkeye? This here, every time you do a light attack, your bow abilities do more damage. So it's very important to always light attack on the back bar between abilities. So you see, basically our AoE dots are the strongest abilities as well, both for single target and AoE. Then we have heavy attack, one part here and the other part here. Venomous claw, poison injection, and all other stuff. You see the ravage health. Give me a sec. 400 here and 800 here. It's 1.2k. And then you also, sorry, this here, 800 and 400, so like 1.2k DPS. Sometimes it's more, sometimes less. Then we have the poison enchant. Now dealing less damage because we use Nirnhound. Again, the damage difference is very small, I would say. Yeah, more or less. We have a lot of poison abilities. In an optimal raid environment, obviously you also want to run Morak Tong on one Dragonknight, just to get a little bit more overall poison damage. Standard of Might doesn't deal a lot of direct damage, but the reason why we use it is because we want to get the 15% extra increased damage while the standard is up. You also can see we have 63% weapon, 62% crit, and now on this fight we had overall 64%, so actually a little bit more. Where is a valid red? Valid ref? It's not here. Very nice. Yeah, so I'm basically missing like 1.4k DPS because it seems the valid ref didn't hit the target. I think it's just a target dummy issue, probably not happening on the boss fight, but in case, just look out for it. Didn't have any damage ticks off the second piece bonus now. But yeah, hope you got the idea of the rotation. If you have any questions, ask me in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you liked the video, hit that like button. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.